Hi everyone, welcome to the alternative paper pumpkin for cards I made for the month of September's kit, and it is using the Bone Appetit Halloween kit. Definitely Halloween. It came with this little stamp set with skeletons and skull and crossbones, and I've already done the unboxing and shown you how to easily make the little treat boxes that were the intended kit result. But I went ahead and made some alternatives, and I'm doing this in collaboration with Stmpgrl, Stmpgrl, who is Paige, and I will link her down below as well. I'm a independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. She is not. We both love the paper pumpkin kits. We love the Stampin' Up! Products. And so we've become friends, and so we just like to share these every month as much as we can. So you'll see I have another idea, and my first card, I'm just going to jump right in, uses that same idea. This is one of the treat boxes cut, and it does have a score line already here and here, but that's okay because it sort of separates body, chest, lower body, chest, and head. This actually, so I put it on basic black. I have a piece of pumpkin pie cardstock under that, and then on top of that I actually used a treat bag from last year's paper pumpkin kit for Halloween. Let me pull one out and show you here. It has all, oops, that one has dots on it. Anyway, there were several different ones, but I used one that had spider webs. They look like these, and I had quite a few left from last year, so all I did was cut this off, cut it down one part, and then wrapped it around the paper pumpkin piece and tacked it down, and then glued that down onto the basic black. This is a piece of the black with shimmer ribbon. Let me see if I have it here. Yeah. It's called Glittered Organdy Ribbon. It's in the annual catalog. I got it last year in the holiday 2018, but it carried over to the annual, so it's available for you. The googly eyes. Now, Stampin' Up! Does have googly eyes in the 2019 holiday catalog. I don't have those, but I had some in my stash, probably from Dollar Tree. I'm not sure anymore. And so I used those, and then the Boo is from last year also. So use your past paper pumpkin kits too. Let's see what I did on the inside. Inside I used one of the stamps from the kit for this month, and it just says Happy Halloween. It's very little because it was intended to be able to fit into this frame, I think, or at least one of the tags of this shape. So that is my first card. I'm probably going to make another one with these leftover pieces here. Yeah, I guess it'll fit. I was a little concerned it might not fit, but this one looks like it has trousers, and then, a more curvy body, and two different colors. So they're leftovers from the scraps. So we'll just leave that there. Okay, the next one I used the brick, what do you call those things? Mask or stencil that's in the annual catalog. It's part of the Pattern Party decorative mask, I think it's called. More of the organdy. Anyway, I used that, and I think I used basic gray or gray granite, perhaps. I can't remember exactly. And I didn't do the whole thing, and I tried to do it lighter and darker in spots. These are left over from last year's paper pumpkin. Here what I did is I flipped this over. I stamped one of the skeleton guys from the kit this month in Memento Black right on there, but I wanted it to look like he was coming out of this planter or vase or something. I did stamp Bone Appetit from the kit on one of the foil labels and stuck that on there, and then these are out of the Gather Together, except that I used the jack-o'-lantern face from Harvest to Lowe's to put it on one of the cutout pumpkins just from the dies that go with Gather Together, because I was going to use the apple punch, which is also a pumpkin, but it was too big. So I used those and I did them on pumpkin pie paper, and this is just with Memento Black. And then this is a 1 3/8 inch scallop circle, a 1 1/8 scallop circle, and the pumpkin pie, the pumpkin pie is out of the, I want to say Holiday, yeah, Holiday Rhinestone Basic Jewels over here. And that was one of the bigger ones I used, which is all now. So I used a combination. Oh, and this is leftover from last year's. I have a lot of this left, this black with silver, and I just wrapped it around 3 times, tacked it down back here with glue dots a few times, and then I just put Whisper White on black on the inside. So that's the second card. All right, the third card, I got out one of the coffin boxes, the lids I think, and I just cut it out. Oh, before I did that, I used the birch. This is Gorgeous Grape. I used the birch wood mount stamp set. The back, well, I didn't mean to buy the wood mount, so I just used the red rubber. I'll probably use that wood for something else some other day. I meant to just get the cling mount. Anyway, I used Memento Black on there, and I just thought that made it sort of look like mummy wrap, only in black, right? This was a background I had done when I did all those different backgrounds a month ago or something. And it is the Whisper White ink using the tree decorative mask that's in the holiday catalog. One sec, I'll show it to you. If I can find it here. Nope, that's not it. Here it is. This. So I used this on, it looks like gray granite to me, and I used the, I think it was the Whisper White ink, and I just rubbed it on, yeah. So I had that piece already done, and I thought, well, that'll make it look like sort of eerie in a forest. I bumped the coffin up on the black dimensionals. I wrapped it top and bottom because it just needed something else, with the mini striped ribbon in Gorgeous Grape. This carried over from last year, but it's still available in this year's annual catalog. Then down here I used one of the sticker skeletons from the kit, and this is one of the labels from the kit, and I did stamp the Trick or Treat and put it on a 1 1/2 inch circle in Gorgeous Grape. The Gorgeous Grape rhinestone is from the Noble Peacock. You'll see me use either the Noble Peacock or the Holiday Rhinestones throughout, and that's up on the dimensionals as well, the black dimensionals. And inside I got a little creative, and you'll see where I did this from the next card. I took the what are these called? It's cobwebs from the kit that look like this, and I put it down on a piece of Whisper White. I'll turn it around here, and I rubbed it, I sponged it with a sponge brush with Gorgeous Grape, and then I just went all around the edges with the brush. So I did that in both corners, went all the way around the edges with the brush with the Gorgeous Grape as well. It sort of made it look a little eerie, and I just left it like that. Oops, I'm messing up my monster. And the next one I thought was really cool. So this idea came from looking at these boxes. Let me get one that's not cut. I have a lot of boxes left, guys. Let's see. Sorry. And I don't know if you can see it, but when you pop this open, the side part, this looks like a little keyhole, and I'm saving these because I have another idea for them. But that looked like a keyhole to me. So I remembered that in the bird ballad suite, we had little trinkets. Oops, that's not the right ones. Let me see if I can find them again. Here, the bird ballad trinkets, and they have little keys in them, like that. So I took one of those keys, I stuck it on the black and silver twine left over from last year. I used one of the vellum circles from the kit, and I made it look like the hand was holding the key, and the key goes in this keyhole. And I did put a piece of silver foil that was from behind the ghost eyes and the stuff from last year behind here. This is bumped up on dimensionals, as is this. Okay, this was a leftover strip of Whisper White, and I used the brick, which is also in the annual catalog. It looks like this. And I used gray granite again, and I just went over it. I went over this with some gray granite as well. So remember the last card where I had done the purple here? Well, I used that one up here. Then I did one in pumpkin pie, and then I also did one in delicata copper, which is kind of hard to tell, but it is very shimmery on here. And then this is bumped up on dimensionals, and I stamped a little skull and crossbones from the kit in Gorgeous Grape, and I did Trick or Treat down here in Gorgeous Grape also. So I used pumpkin pie, Gorgeous Grape, black. I used a lot of things from the kit in this one, but I thought that was a cool idea because it does look like a keyhole. And then inside I just stamped for skull and crossbones. And the next one, I wanted to use the boxes more. I had cut some boxes up, but so these are, I think, 1.5 inch squares. Oops. Yeah, these are 1.5 inch squares, so these are 1 3/4 inch pumpkin pie squares on basic black. This is a strip of pumpkin pie, and then the pieces that came out of the box, get that same box up here, like that. I used one here and one here, and I punched out a 2 1/4 inch black circle, and I used a starburst punch, which is about 2 1/8, and put that on top after I stamped Happy Halloween. Now this Happy Halloween comes from the A Wish for Everything. There's the Happy, and there's the Halloween. It's a little bigger because the Happy Halloween in the kit is pretty small. I mean, it's really teeny. And I wanted something a little bigger to fill that circle. And then I used the, what do you call, oh, the pumpkin pie dots out of the holiday rhinestone jewels, basic jewels there. And then inside, I took those extra bits and the circles that came out of the purple tags, which you'll see in another card. And I just put the polka dot ones here, the striped ones here, and the black dots are in the corners. I thought that looked cool. So it's all about using up the foiled paper on this one. I thought that came out pretty cool. And that could have been for non-Halloween, but the colors say Halloween. And then the next one, I got a little creative. I took, let me get it for you. I punched out all the labels from this, and I put it down like this, and then I took the gray granite again, because to me that sort of looks like dirty gray, brown gray, and I just rubbed, and then I moved it and put it here, and I mostly rubbed these two, and then I put it back up here, and to me that made it look like a graveyard. So then I stamped half of a little guy like he's, you know, right in front of the tombstone there. And then it just was missing something, so I brought out more of my googly eyes and I put them on, like peeking between the tombstones, so it looked like ghosts. I was originally thinking of pulling out a ghost, you know, like one of these, and cutting off the eyes, but it was too big and I didn't like it, so I decided just to go with the googly eyes. And then this is just a piece of black cardstock, and on top of it I have 2 scraps left from this paper. And then I did put one of the little labels on in the middle, mostly just to cover up the seam. This is a piece of Mango Melody, I think. And originally I was just going to do the 1.5 inch circle, the vellum from the kit, but I used glue and I thought, oh, it'll look like moon craters or something, but I didn't like it. So I put down a 1 inch circle on top of that. And then the bat is from last year's kit, and I just took 2 white dots. I don't have this year's Halloween kits, just so y'all know. That's why I'm using some of last year's paper pumpkin kit with this year's paper pumpkin kit. This is actually a piece of basic black, and I used the Timeless label punch, cut it this way and cut one end off, and I thought that looked like a tombstone. And then this is one of the labels from the kit. Now, this is not my idea. I watched another demonstrator. She's not on our team or anything, but her name is Stmpgrl. And I can't remember what her first name is, and I don't want to get it wrong. But she cut out the Eat If You Dare. I think it says, yeah, Eat If You Dare part. So I did the same thing. And that left me a little frame. And then I used the kit Happy Halloween instead of the Eat If You Dare, because this doesn't really have to do with eating. It's not a treat box. So that's what I did on that one. And then I just put a piece of Whisper White on the inside. Okay, and that's it for the Halloween cards, although I may do another monster because I think that's cute. Don't you think that's cute? That was my first one. I'm like, ooh. It was getting hard to come up with ideas, you know, and I don't do much Halloween. Oh, and he's up on Dimensionals, by the way. I forgot to say that, or she, whichever. My monster's up on Dimensionals. Okay, so the next cards are non-Halloween cards, okay? This one is in Gorgeous Grape. Oops. And this is the designer series paper that comes with the color family, or goes with the color families. So this is out of the Brights, and it has script on it, which is the ink, stamp, repeat, inspire, create, share words on it. And so I just put that on Gorgeous Grape. I had this scrap of Whisper White actually, and I think it's 3 by 4 roughly. Yes, 3 by 4. And so I put a piece of basic black behind it at like 3 1/4 by 4 1/4, something like that. And then I just took 3 tags out of the kit, the black, the purple, and the black. And I heat embossed this sentiment, and that's out of the Colorful Seasons, which I had, oh here, Colorful Seasons. I pulled out a couple stamp sets to use, and this was one. So You Make Me Smile is right here, and that fit on the tag, and I heat embossed it with white embossing powder. I didn't do a great job, but. And then these are die cut flowers that look like this one, but it's just the die cut, and I just cut them out of Whisper White and put them on the tags. And then I did use the purple rhinestones, 2 little ones and a bigger one from the Noble Peacock rhinestones kit. So the Gorgeous Grape colors here, and then the ribbon, the Gorgeous Grape mini striped ribbon, 1/4 inch. I tied a bow and I just dotted that down with a couple different glue dots, and here I actually just looped them through and tacked them down with glue dots as well. And then on the inside I just stamped one of those flowers and had a strip of the paper at the bottom of the piece of Whisper White, and that's what I did on that one. The next one, instead of making a monster, I used that. I thought it looked like a milk can, kind of a big milk can, but I used the Come Together. Let me see. Yes, Come Together. I used this wheat, and I put it on the Stmpgrl because I stamped it a couple times, and I just kept moving it over to here, and then in the middle. And I did it in crumb cake, and then I put a little bit of crushed curry in it as well. It looks okay, not perfect. And I even thought about flipping this down a little bit, and I colored that with pumpkin pie marker, but it looked better with it up, like the neck up. So I left it up and put the wheat in there, and then I just stamped Season of Thanks from here in black Memento ink. I did do 2 of the pumpkins. This one is in Cajun Craze, and these are in pumpkin pie because I wanted to break up the pumpkin pie. And I did put the little dirt bits down here, and I think I did that in crumb cake, I'm pretty sure. So I just went all across the bottom first, then I put my milk can down with the wheat, and then I just loaded it up with some of the pumpkin pie colored rhinestones out of the holiday rhinestone basic jewels in different sizes, and inside's just a piece of Whisper White. So that's that one. And then I did 2 cards similar. Now these are Grapefruit Grove because I'm getting low on pumpkin pie, and I didn't want to cut card bases into what little I have left. But I also was inspired by the foil this time, so I still have some leftover Grapefruit Grove lovely lipstick foil that's retired now. It was, I think, in the Occasions catalog, but don't hold me to that, for last year. For this year, earlier, you know, January to April. But it did not carry over, it's retired, so I want to use some of it up. So I pulled out a piece big enough to, well, I cut it down big enough to back this, which is actually the designer series paper for the In Color 2018 to 20 and out of the annual catalog. And you get 4 different designs and a couple sheets each. I think 1 or 2 sheets each. So I put that on top of the foil, and then I just used a piece of vellum out of the kit and the labels out of the kit and went down the left side here. And then these little flowers and these words are out of the Well-Written framelits. The flowers are, and they're cut out of Grapefruit Grove regular paper, and then the Thanks Friend are also out of here, and I only did them once, and I just glued them down with my favorite liquid adhesive in the skinny tip bottle. And then inside I just put another piece of the foil with a piece of Whisper White. So that's that one. And then along those same lines, this time I took my 1.5 inch circle punch and punched out of the box, the big parts of the box. So each one of these square areas, like I punched with the 1.5 inch circle punch. I again used the foil labels out of the kit and the butterfly and the flowers out of the Well-Written and the Happy Birthday out of the Well-Written, again on that Grapefruit Grove. It almost has a iridescent look to it, but I like that. And then inside, same thing, just foil with the white. So I thought that came out pretty. And that's also out of that same designer series paper pack. And then the last card I did, which is number 11, is similar to this one, but I used my scraps up, so I had a little bit different shape of white left, and it wasn't long enough to fit 3 labels on, so I just used 2. I stamped Thinking of You out of the Colorful Seasons again, and the flower again is out of the dies from the Colorful Seasons. And I actually cut, there's a solid one and then one that has the little opening, so I did the solid one in Gorgeous Grape right behind this one, which you can't really see. And then this, I had a tiny little bit of this Whisper White twine, had to be out of a paper pumpkin. It was on this roll, so I used that up. I finished it, and I put 3 more of the rhinestones from the Noble Peacock rhinestones in Gorgeous Grape on, and then inside, again, I'm using pieces of white that I had left, so I just put a piece of paper from the designer paper from cutting this off, and a piece of Whisper White, and that is it. Those are my 11 cards, and maybe one more coming with another monster, because I think that's cool. And I also had another idea. I don't want to tell you what it is, because I might share it still on a different video. I'm not sure. Maybe on Tuesday Night Live we'll make one more card, because I have another idea. So that is it. I hope that you enjoyed that, and you know, I'm here as your demonstrator to hopefully to give you ideas on how to use your kit. Especially this one was a little hard because everything on here was Halloween. It was really not easy to make it non-Halloween. I know Stamp a Blessing used this and made like a banner on a card and out of different like pastel colors, and that turned out really pretty. So, you know, I'm not affiliated with her other than we're both Stampin' Up! Demonstrators, but I do like to watch her sometimes because she does paper pumpkins, and I honestly, I try really hard not to watch other demonstrators or other people that get the kit who do videos until I get my projects done, because I don't want to be influenced. But I'm in a demonstrator paper pumpkin Facebook page, and she happened to post on there, and I did see that on there, so I went ahead and watched her video, and I liked that idea, but I didn't steal her idea of doing the banner. So I just tried, you know, use it for inspiration a little bit. Plus I didn't want to eat If You Dare for any of my cards. So I think everything came out good, and all the other ones were totally my ideas. I have not watched any other paper pumpkin videos, and I intentionally don't do that until after I get mine projects done. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to leave me a thumbs up. It helps my channel. I'm kind of a struggling you know, YouTube demonstrator, if you will. And first, well, I'm in my early part of my 2nd year as a demonstrator and trying to get established. So if you liked anything about this, you know, I know a lot of people aren't into Halloween, but that's why I tried to show you can do non-Halloween cards like these from the kit, using things out of the kit. So try to think outside the box, if you will. You know, these are the non-Halloween, some of them. I think I have another one. Yes. I don't know what I did with it. Anyway, yeah, so I have 5 non-Halloween cards, but I do have some Halloween too, because I don't like the spooky part of Halloween, but I like the cutesy part, you know, with the kids dressing up and stuff. And I know it goes against a lot of religious beliefs, and that's fine, but I'm not against celebrating with the children. Yeah, and letting them have a little fun dressing up in costumes and stuff. I just don't have any children anymore that are little. Mine are all grown, and really around here nobody dresses up. Alright, I kept you long enough. I'm gonna let you go now before I hit 30 minutes. And please don't forget, like, subscribe if you're not already. Hit the notification bell twice so it's filled in so you don't miss any of my videos or lives. And please come back. The next will probably be Tuesday Night Live at 7 p.m. Eastern, so don't miss out. We'll be making some cards, Stampin' Up, and we may do one more from this kit, but I have some other things in mind for Tuesday night. So come back soon and see what we do, and we'll make some cards together. All right, bye for now. Hugs, love, and peace.